Hello Internet, and today's video is going to be another book opinion. Those videos in which I give you my opinion on a book, and today's book is going to be The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is the Vintage Classics edition. It was my favorite cover, and I must say it is the cover that perfectly represents this book. The best description I can give to this book is The Night Circus, the book, is exactly the same as the description given to The Night Circus, the event. So The Night Circus is always described as a mystical, magical place where you will view many events, many awe-inspiring magics, but you will never fully understand the event of the Night Circus. You may visit the Night Circus every time it's open, but you know there are still secrets hidden from you about the Night Circus. And in this book, when you are reading it, you get this feeling that you're watching something mystical and magical happen, just something so awe-inspiring, but you also get the feeling that you don't have the full story. Like, you're watching everything going on, like you're focusing on the words, you're reading them, you're understanding every single word going on. But in the back of your head, you're like, but I don't think I fully grasp this concept. I don't think I fully get it, even though you're getting a lot of information about it. I think that is the best description one will ever get for the Night Circus. The basic plot summary is it's a game. So two ancient magicians have this game between them to see who is the best teacher. They both come to agreement where, like, they swear by blood. They get two pupils, one for each, and in a set location at a set time, these two pupils are supposed to duel each other, and whoever wins shows whichever master wizard, master magician, is the best professor. So this follows a man and a woman and their time at the Night Circus, because the Night Circus is the setting, and they are supposed to come up with different tents and events to show the awe-inspiring magic that they hold, and eventually outcast each other until there is a final victor. This is a love story between them. It is sort of a star-crossed love story, being that these two are not supposed to get along, are not supposed to talk to each other because they're on opposite sides. They're not meant to become friends with the enemy. They're meant to defeat the enemy. But of course, the two fall in love. They're not going to defeat each other. Instead, they're going to have a star-crossed Juliet and Romeo love story. It is personally my favorite Juliet and Romeo love story. I really thought it was well done. There is also the added benefit that while this story is sort of told chronologically, there are points where it's like there are different chapters that follow a character outside of this main central game of the Night Circus, and his time periods are interspersed. So we are introduced to him in the beginning, and he is talking from the future and his relations to the Night Circus, and then we have the slow build-up of the creation to the Night Circus up into that point where we first met that one character. Basically, this is a very good book. It is very entertaining. It is one of those books you read and you know it is a good piece of literature. It does come across as a classic, which is probably why it got the classic vintage edition so early on in its career as a book, where a classic novel, as I understand, is a piece of work that you, when you read, understand that this is a prime piece of literature. It's well done, the story's well made, it's just so beautiful. You do not have to fully understand the story or fully agree with the story or think the story is the best. Like, you don't have to agree with the contents of the book, but you understand the writing of the book, the basic plot of the book. Those are all so magnificent that you can't even disagree with that. You understand it's good writing, even if at the end of the day you weren't fulfilled as a reader by this book, if that makes sense. I feel like I just say a bunch of theoretical, philosophical mumbo jumbo. I'm not fully contextualizing my ideas, but I hope someone out there understands where I'm getting at with this. So it does come across with that classic feel. I think a majority of people will understand this, but I think just as many people who understand and love this book are going to get highly confused by this book. And again, I think that's because the Night Circus comes across as the event. You know you don't understand everything. You know you didn't get the full picture even when you could have sworn you saw all the pieces. So it's very, very confusing at times, conflicting, because you at one part are like, no, I got the whole story because I read every book, but at the other part you're like, but I swear there could have been more, and this is a pretty thick book. It's not so much that it feels like Erin Morgenstern left out things, but just like, this is one of those books where you know the world exists. Like, you know this world exists. It will continue without you. It continued before you sort of situations. And this world just feels so alive with its magic, so alive with its characters, that you could believe that this is a world in and of itself, that this world existed before you picked up this book. This world will exist long after you finish with this book. So it's very odd reading. I think it was pretty satisfying. It is currently one of the only classics I like. I'm going to put it on my list right below Dorian Gray, simply because I'm morbid and I like Dorian Gray. Overall, I would suggest you at least attempt this book, because I think you will at least be able to recognize it as good literature and as good writing, even if you don't like the story. I think that's the most important thing you must take out when you read The Night Circus and when you hear about The Night Circus, is that this will come across as a classic novel. It will be fantastic writing, but that does not mean it's for everyone. Those are all my opinions on The Night Circus. I definitely think I picked the right cover because it's just black and white with those little pieces of red. Perfect, perfect. If you have any contentions with any of my opinions, comment down below. Let me know. What are your thoughts on some of the things I'm saying about this? Because I'm not sure if I'm fully explaining my ideas. Do you have any pushback in this realm? This is more of a theoretical review than I usually do. So, what are your opinions on my opinions, or what are your opinions in general on The Night Circus? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you confused but mystified by its beauty? What did you feel? If you have anything that you want to share with me about it, comment down below, let me know. Otherwise, click all those buttonys if you want to continue to see more, and goodbye, Internet.